learners and listeners, welcome to this session. Today's session is part of the course Childhood and Growing Up. We are going to discuss the topic Media and Children. I am Dr. G. Uma, Assistant Professor in the School of Gender and Development Studies, Indira Gandhi National Open University. Welcome to this session. The content, before we get into this actual session, I would like to inform you two things. One is the content of this video. Second one is the objective of the session. The content of the video in this session is Media and Children. This session specifically designed to discuss the impact of media on children. You all must be wondering, why do we want to discuss about media and children? We are living in a era of digital world. Every digital instrument, it's close to us, in our hand. So in the digital era, it is very important to know about what kind of impact the media create on children. If we talk about media, it doesn't mean that only television, print media. Now we are talking about the new media where internet plays a significant role in the life of the children, and mobile phone is part of the everyone's life. So in the era of digital, we must understand what kind of impact these media, various kinds of media, will have an impact on children. Let us see. Just I would like to introduce the topic before we really discuss about the impact of media on children. Media, including social media, become an indispensable part of every human life. Children, adults, young, old, and all genders use various kinds of media. Media includes mainstream media like print and television and social media. Humans access social media through their mobile phones. Mobile phones became like a human organs in the 21st century. See, when we sleep, we keep our mobile phone next to us. When we get up in the morning, the first we take our mobile phone, we try to find out whether we have got any messages or whether we got any emails. So everything, whether to check the official email or personal email, or whether to get messages from our near and dears through social media, or we have get connected with the social media like various instruments. Like we can connect the social media through our laptops, through our mobile phones, and every second or every minute we try to check our instruments whether to check any messages we got it. Not only messages, we use these different kinds of media to entertain us. Like these days we are watching cinema, watching various series, and we are watching and we are playing various kinds of games through these mobile phones and through the various instruments. So all these instruments are called as media. These instruments play a significant role to connect various kinds of media with the human beings. So people can live without food for the days in the 21st century, but they cannot leave their mobile phones for a minute in the 21st century. Children are also using various kinds of media extensively. Usage of media by all age groups are given in this video or in this lecture. Human beings are not aware of mobile phones and their application 15 years before. Just imagine that 15-20 years before, we have very simple handsets, mobile handsets. Through that handsets only we can change the text messages or we can get connected with our near and dears. But now same instrument has upgraded and transformed into various forms, and in the digital era and in the 21st century we use same instrument for various kinds of activities, including to regulate our life daily basis. So when these kind of media part of our life, children are also became part of these various instruments, and that became not only for the adults, children also well aware about the using these instruments to connect themselves with the various kinds of medium. The mobile phone and social media became part of their life in the globalized world, children's life in the globalized world. There are debates about the positive and negative impacts of media on children. In this scenario, it is very pertinent to ask the following questions. Well, are these applications that have come into life of human beings, especially among children, as life-changing aspects in children's life? That one we must understand that. One is that like an adult, in the 21st century, children also very well using these various instruments to access media. So these instruments, these applications which are part of the children's life, is it life-changing aspects in children's life? That is the first question we must ask. The second one is that what kinds of changes is it bringing to the life of children? Are they giving positive changes in the life of children? Are they impact the life of children in a negative manner? Do supplement in the print media for children improve the learning ability? Like media, when we talk about media, it is not only a digital media, there are print media. If you look at the print media, they give some kind of supplement weekly once. For specifically it is called as children's supplement. So these supplements, whatever the print medium giving supplement for children, is this improving the learning ability? Or in the digital era, our children are using the print medium to learn something? That is the another question one must ask ourselves, and we need to try to find out the answer for all these questions, really to regulate our children whether to use these various kinds of media or not. Do we need to allow social media among children in a controlled manner? That is what I was trying to talk about that. So there are various kinds of media is available. Is it necessary to regulate our children how much they can really use this media? Do we need to allow social media among children in a controlled manner? Let us try to find the answer to all these questions in this video or in this lecture. First one is that the risk and opportunities of the changing media and communication environment raise new questions in the life of a children in the digital age. In this digital age, the impact of media on children's attitudes, beliefs and behaviors was primarily examined through the social and psychological study. Media is impacting children's life in various ways. The way they behave, the way they look and are looked at all are influenced directly or indirectly by media. Media sells dreams and adolescents just buy them without thinking of the consequences. Before we further get into discussion, I would like to give you one case representation. That case representation, dear learners, will certainly improve your understanding regarding the media and children. This is the case. Rohan, a timid 15-year-old boy of class 9, was going through a trauma in the school which his peers and teachers were unaware of. He was being physically abused and bullied by one of his overgrown classmates. He would touch him inappropriately in toilets and would do various things in a private parts. Rohan was too angry and frustrated, but did not have the confidence to report to his class teacher or even tell his parents about it. One day, he got an idea from a TV program, and next day, he confides to a matured friend and lured his class fellow to the toilet where they took revenge on him. In this case, even though Rohan was a victim, his teachers or his parents should have noticed something amiss in his behavior, as the abuse had been going on for months. It was this frustration which led to this violence, guided by some program on TV. Dear learners, based on this case representation, you all must understand that it is very important for our children to teach them what is good touch, what is bad touch, and some kind of we need to provide them some kind of gender sensitization to all our learners. And once they grow up little older, it is very important for them to understand their own bodies and whatever the changes it's happening in their bodies. If the teachers and if the peers or if the parents, if they are not teaching their children about the gender, about the sexual difference between male and female and other genders, they may misguided by the television or internet or some kind of websites. If they watch or if they come to know about that, if they understand through this medium, that may create negative impact on their lives. So it is very important for the parents and teachers to regulate our children, and we need to keep them get updated on the various developments, and we need to tell them that the importance of watching only certain programs that will build positive values in the lives of our children. Based on this case study, it is the role of teacher is very important. Teacher have to develop a third eye of noticing when things go amiss, and the student manifest such deviations in various ways over some time, like the eye movements, frown on the forehead, lowering of concentration, absenteeism, etc. These telltale signs reflect a lot about what is going on, and teachers have to learn to develop the ability to understand her or his children. Next one is media and learning about the social world. Another case representation I would like to. You all must be wondering why I am giving case representation. If I give case representation, that will be easy for you to learn the significance of this topic. With regard to this case representation about media and learning about the social world, Swati was a cute 14-year girl in class 8 who was very focused on becoming a doctor, but slowly her behavior started changing. She was gradually became dreamier in the class, less focused and less regular in doing homework. If she was ticked off in the class for becoming dreamy, she would start crying. Gentle probing by her science teacher revealed that she was developing poor image of her body because she thought she was obese and thus sinking into depression. Her teacher's persistence and perseverance helped her come out of this dilemma, and she was on the track once again in studies. There are various things one learns from the social world. Let us have a look at the following. First one is sex in the media. There are various ways in which sex is shown in the media through pictures, language, songs, actions, provocative dresses or content, and so on and so forth. All these audio-visual contents leave their imprint on their delicate mind of a child. So, that's what in the beginning itself I told you. It is very important for the teacher to teach the children about the difference between sex and gender. What is sex? We need to tell them that it is the biological difference between male child and female child. Male child have a certain organs, specific organs, female child also few specific organs due to the chromosome differences. Male child they carry XY chromosome, female child they carry XX chromosomes. Due to that there is some sexual difference between male and female, but at the same time we need to teach our children regarding gender differences. Unlike sex, gender is socially constructed. When the child is born, the society try to impact certain values on male and certain values on female. If the male child is born, the society and family, various social institutions, they try to celebrate the birth of the male child, and through various celebrations like arranging certain various celebrations. At the same time, if the female child was born in a family, maybe some families may celebrate, some they feel that, oh, that particular women could not produce a male child due to the existing socialization process, because we are giving more importance to the male child, because the male child is considered as carrying the family values to so many generations. At the same time, male child, the family expects the male child to take care of the entire family, and they give whatever the activities the male does, the family and the social institutions like marriage and other social institutions, they give values to the male activities. So they get an economic value whatever the activities they carried out. Due to these gender differences and male and female, the various social institutions including educational institutions expect male child to behave in a certain way and female child to behave in a certain way. These gender differences have certain impacts on our children. Due to that, male behaved in a certain way and the female behaved in a certain way, as well as once the child is grow up, there will be certain changes in the body of the children. So if they are not aware about these biological changes in their body, they try to understand through various mediums. So sometimes they understood in a negative way. That will have a negative impact on their life, and they try to behave in a negative way, and that will impact their peer groups. So it is very important for the schools, teachers and parents to provide certain kinds of gender sensitization to all the children in the school. Second one is violence in the media. These days many juveniles have admitted that they were motivated to do a particular crime by watching TV or reading about it in the newspapers. Most kids know that violence is not the answer, but the media contradicts this learning. So through media, or like various kinds of media, through cinema, through television serials, through internet and through various games, they learn about the violence and they try to show their violent activities with other children, that finally they ended up in correctional home. So it's very important for the government to regulate the media, and the children should be allowed to watch only certain programs, that which whatever the program they watch, it should create a positive impact on the minds of the children. So teacher have to keep on explaining to the children in various ways at varying times that violence in the media is for entertainment only and not for realistic problem solving. In reality, you cannot solve any problem through violence. We can solve problem only by sorting out this problem through talking and through understanding the entire problem. These kind of positive values should be inculcated on our children. That is very important. Teachers have to keep on explaining the children in various ways at various times that violence in the media is for entertainment only and not for realistic problem solving. Next important thing about the issue is obesity and the media. It is vicious circle here, obesity. The issue of pencil slim figures or zero-sized figures is highlighted by the media, and children get enamored by the hefty pay packet which these young heroines or models earn, which make them seem that money comes without any hard work, unlike that associated with studies and examinations. Also at the same time, the number of hours they sit in front of the TV adds to their physical lethargy, leading to obesity and related issues. Teachers have to keep on warning children and the parents about this malaise. The information which children may not be able to lump in from their parents may be able to take it from their teachers. Therefore, teachers have a greater role in shaping the young minds, especially adolescents who are going through severe turmoil, both physical and mental. Next one is school performance and the media. Overexposure to the media is also linked to poor academic skills. Teachers have to develop the skill of letting students to know the adverse effects of media if they feel that the children are becoming underachievers. But the media does not always negatively impact the child. It can also be beneficial for the children. It can also help them learn independently, communicate, have fun, relax and grow up. Next important aspects we need to discuss is the smartphones and its use for teachers and children. It may help the learners to enhance their learning capacity. We can see the advantages of smartphones subject-wise. Example, smartphones can create diagrams, structures, models through machine learning or artificial intelligence to enhance students' understanding of biology, physics, chemistry and engineering. It will help in the listening and reading ability of the student in the language class. It will helpful for both teachers and students. Students can get their doubts cleared by browsing the internet. It may improve a student's independent learning capacity. Educational videos are beneficial for learners. Apart from that, smartphones are useful in education through web surfing, instant communication, GPS, entertainment and data transfer. Let us see the negative aspects of social media, especially smartphones, because these days children and you all must be know that entire world has faced COVID emergency for the past 1.5 years. Due to this COVID emergency, the children, they were not able to go to schools. Mostly they learn from home through smartphones. So smartphone was useful for learning. At the same time, we must understand the negative impacts on social media. Long hours of social media and interactive media impacts the children's face-to-face interaction. Thus, they lack the socialization process. It is important for the children to socialize with other children, to build their friendship, to play with other children, for sharing, not only sharing the foods and other inanimate things. They can share their experiences, children among themselves, they can share their experiences. So, if they spend more and more hours on social media or in front of TV or in front of internet, they ended up in lacking socialization process. Once they enter into adulthood, they may not be able to socialize with their age groups. Sometimes they face loneliness, it affects their learning ability. So, it is very important for the teachers and parents to control our children for accessing various kinds of media. They may face psychological, moral and physical issues. It affects the cognitive development of children and the academic performance of the children. This lecture is developed based on the following references. Even we have referred the NCERT curriculum and we have referred the women and gender and feminist psychology, and we referred about the title, what kind of adults will our children become, the impact of growing up in a saturated world, that was published in Journal of Children and Media, on television and child development. Next one is the beauty of myth. These are some of the topics published in the international and national journals. Based on these references, we have prepared this lecture. I hope you understand this topic, and I hope you understand that it's very important for our children to aware about the impact of media, and very important for our teachers to make our children to understand the media and its impacts on their life. And the parents, they must understand these aspects, and accordingly they have to sensitize their children on media's impact of media. Thank you so much for listening this lecture patiently. Again we will meet again in some other topic. Thank you so much.